In 1820, the year of George IV's accession, a man claiming to be the sovereign prince of a land he claimed to be called Poyas. He arrived unexpectedly and without a ceremony, but within a few short months he became a well-known and well-respected figure in London. His name was Gregor MacGregor, and he single-handedly became one of the leading investment scammers in history.
Gregor MacGregor was born in Edinburgh and was the son of Captain Daniel MacGregor. He joined the Royal Navy in 1803, served in both the Spanish and Portuguese armies. He was next heard of as a colonial, serving in the army of the Captaincy General of Venezuela in 1811. Fighting for independence from Spain in 1817, MacGregor became a general and led a small force that captured San Fernandina on Amelia Island, Florida, from the Spanish.
In 1822, Gregor MacGregor made a prominent announcement. He was, he said, not only a local banker's son, but prince of the land Poyas, along Honduras' Black River. He described it to be a little larger than Wales, with pure water lakes lined with gold. What Poyas lacked, he said, was willing investors and settlers to develop and leverage its resources to the fullest.
Investments in London were gaining in popularity, and Poyas appeared to be a particularly appealing position. He published interviews in national papers, such as touting the perks that would come from investing or settling in Poyas. He highlighted the bravery and fortitude that such a gesture would demonstrate. You wouldn't just be smart, you'd be a real man. The tactics worked precisely as he anticipated, and he was beyond successful. Not only did MacGregor raise £200,000 directly, but the bond market value over his life ran to £1.3 million, which is around £3.6 billion today. Gregor convinced seven ships worth of eager settlers to make their way across the Atlantic. In September 1822 and January 1823, the first two ships left for Poyas, carrying around 250 passengers. But when the settlers arrived just under 2 months later, they found the reality to be a stark departure from the allure of MacGregor's brochures. There were no ports, no developments, nothing. It was an empty wasteland. The impact on the victims are that only a third survived, and they were rescued by a passing ship and taken to Belize, although they lost all of their life savings. The British Navy recalled the remaining 5 ships before they reached their destination, and MacGregor escaped to France. Soon after MacGregor fled to France, he resorted back to his old tricks again. However, this time things were different. In a matter of months, he had a new group of settlers and investors ready to go. France, though, was a bit more stringent than England in its passport requirements. When the government saw a flood of applications to a country no one had heard of, a commission was sent to investigate the matter. MacGregor was thrown into jail and sentenced for 9 months. The punishment for MacGregor's actions wasn't as severe as it should have been, as there were fatalities, and he caused a series of other scammers to rise up and make the same claims, as he did in regards to the legitimacy of Poyas. The issue wasn't properly resolved, and he ended up escaping anyway. Soon after, he escaped back to London, only to find there was a gain in investment scammers since his departure.
Many months later.
Since the scam occurred many years before Australian consumer laws were put in place, such as the law to have foreign investment opportunities reviewed by the Australian Foreign Investment Review Board, FIRB, then the resolution was to have him face a prison sentence. However, if the scam occurred in this era, it could have been easily reported to the ASIC, Australian Securities and Investment, ACCC, Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, ACSC, Australian Cyber Security Centre, Scamwatch, or the AFP, Australian Federal Police. Gregor MacGregor, if found guilty under the laws of the Australian government, would have to face different but equally severe consequences. As scams become more extensive and sophisticated, judicial officers may come to see lenient sentences as disproportionate to the gravity of the offence, especially having regard to the number of victims and the extent of the loss suffered. This means that Gregor MacGregor would have a much larger sentence, as there were several hundred fatalities in his investment scam. Methods that can be adopted by the government to best protect individuals from investment scams like this in the future is the Australian governments can give out verified stickers and stamps to books and internet websites that say they are approved by the government and all research and knowledge on the site or book is real. If people are looking for investments, they will instantly know if it's a legitimate investment or a scam. Another way to protect Australian citizens is to advertise safe investing and give out warnings if a current scam is going on. The advertisement may consist of billboards, ads, and news reports. If more people are aware of these scams going around, they will be more careful if they are ever approached with an unrealistic opportunity.